Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here, and we're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. If you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. There's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPREPARES.com. Aaron is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. Captain John Ragan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Ragan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Good morning, John Ragan. And in the studio with us is Freeze Dry Guy. Welcome, Freeze Dry Guy.
Hi, how you doing, Vince?
And gentlemen, we have with us Laura from California. And Laura called me over the weekend, and she was pretty excited. She was very concerned about what she was seeing. Welcome, Laura.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine, Laura. So, Laura, let me just tell our broadcast classroom who you are. You came to the Get Prepared Expo. You drove out from California with your daughters. You spent the weekend with us, long weekend. You stayed for the meetup, and so you were with us for a bunch of days, and you really made an adventure out of it. As a matter of fact, it was an educational adventure for your daughters. And we certainly appreciate that. Now, over the weekend, you called me, and you were very concerned. Tell us what you were concerned about, please.
Well, I called you about what. Sorry about that noise. I called you about the apparent rocket that they put off over here in California. It was very unsettling, to say the least. Are you there?
Go ahead. Yes, we're here.
Okay. Yeah, it was I know that there's been a lot of pictures out there, but when I was looking at it, you couldn't see that there was a front end of it. There was a light in the front. All I could see was a great big, for lack of a better term, like a mushroom cloud of like a fluorescent glowing electric blue. And it was in the sky, and you could see through it, but it was like a huge hanging blue orb of light that encompassed most of the skyline. And there was no way of knowing what it was, but I suspected, like I told you, that the airports out here had been had their directions changed, so I suspected that it was military. But it was very uneasy because that blue, it looked like it was some kind of like a fallout or something, and I didn't know what was falling on us. And quite frankly, when I look back on it, I don't appreciate it. There should have been some kind of notice for us. That's all.
Well, when you and I were talking, you said that you were going to get some images, and you were going to email them to me in a video, and you did, and I looked at them. And your images and video are as good as the best that are out there.
Oh, thank you.
What it looked like to me was a electric blue, as you said, light. There's a lot of it. It wasn't just a point. It wasn't just a pinpoint in the sky, and it was traveling. And it was said to be an evaluation test by the U.S. Navy a rocket launch capable of carrying a nuclear payload. And what you told me was the unsettling thing about this was that the airplanes, commercial airplanes, were landing and taking off in a different direction from normal. So something serious was going on. Commerce was interrupted. Airplanes were taking off and landing in a different direction, and this blue light was in the sky. And there was no news alert that you had heard, right? Nothing on the television.
I called you kind of in a panic because I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know, is this some kind of a space weapon? Have we been attacked? Are we breathing? What's in the air that we're breathing? Are we going to be around tomorrow to make a phone call? It was very unsettling. You said excited. I would say I was kind of freaked out. I'm calling Vincent. Yeah. This isn't good. But I knew that you could see it. Now, my daughter in Malibu could see it. I've heard people could have saw the light all the way up as far as San Francisco, Arizona, Nevada. It was big. Remember I asked you if Dr. Richard Allen, I'm like, call him, find out if he saw it, because it was really, my daughter from her balcony at the Pepperdine could see the blue light, right in front of her yard. So, it was huge. It was very, very unsettling. It's just amazing that people are like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's just, nuclear missile launch test out in our backyard that they didn't tell us about. Yeah, let's just keep going about football or whatever, It's pretty amazing. Why would we need to do that, people? What's going on that is, that's not normal. I'm pretty old and I've never seen that before. So anyway.
Laura,
I'd share that with you because, go ahead.
What bothered me was first of all, what are they doing it for? Is there any need to do anything like that? Is this posturing? Is this saber rattling? What is it? And then ultimately the military said that, they're doing some testing. And they say now that the military airspace to the west of LAX will be active for a week, creating traffic route limitations. And the planes will temporarily deviate from over-the-ocean operations. And this will continue until November 12th. So what the military has done is taken over the skies west of LAX. And that is very unsettling. John Ragan, you have comments on this?
Yeah, I saw that article about the airspace being closed, and I wondered, what the heck are they doing? And then, I think it was the next day is when I saw the missile launch, and that explains why they closed the airspace. I can't really give you any more insight on that. When I was working on the nuclear planning system, that was the planning system for theater commanders. And when you're dealing with the bombers and the ballistic missiles, whether they're land or sea-based, that was part of the strategic operating plan. But I still don't know, why would they have to do that there? The Pacific Ocean is a pretty big place, and it seems like they could have done this exercise somewhere else.
I think to me the point being is they knew that it was going to scare a lot of people, and they chose not to tell us. A lot of people were scared. Everybody I know was in a panic. Why would they put millions of people in a panic without warning that they're going to do a test like this? I've seen a missile test before, not anything like this. It didn't look anything like this. This did not look like a missile. It looked like, and that's the question. I'm sure that they've done this test before, but this has been intentionally put in front of tens of millions of people. There's not a more dense place over the Pacific. This is intentional. Why are they scaring us? That's my question. Why did they scare us?
Yeah, and that's a very darn good question. I know there's been a lot of posturing. Obama's poking both Russia and China, and it's actually, from my point of view, it's pretty darn scary, because apparently that these people that we have in Washington now believe they can win a nuclear war, and there are no winners.
Yeah, well,
let me read something from Fox 2 Now, St. Louis. Says Los Angeles, California. Witnesses from Southern California to the San Francisco Bay area on Saturday evening said they saw an unexplained moving light in the sky that was reportedly an unarmed missile test fired by the U.S. Navy. Light seen in the sky was confirmed through the JWA tower to be, whatever the JWA tower is, to be a naval test fire off the coast. The Orange County Sheriff's Department said on Twitter. That's the John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana. A Navy spokesman told the San Diego Union Tribune that the luminous object was an unarmed Trident missile that was fired from a submarine off the coast of Southern California. The commander, Ryan Perry of the Navy's Third Fleet, said that the Trident II D5 was launched as scheduled by an Ohio-class ballistic missile submarine in the Pacific Test Range, the Union Tribune reported. Each test activity provides valuable information about our systems, thus contributing to assurance in our capabilities, Perry said in a statement released to the newspaper. Hundreds of residents reported seeing the bright phenomenon shortly after dusk in Palmdale, Riverside, Rancho Palos Verde, Anaheim, and Ventura. Several observers had speculated that the object may indeed have been a missile or a rocket. Others suggested it was a comet or other celestial occurrence. A spokeswoman for Vandenberg Air Force Base in Santa Barbara County said that the facility did not launch a rocket on Saturday. Let's see. Well, it looks like it was this missile. Yeah. Would you like to continue?
To put it in perspective, it was 4 hours before we knew that was a missile. Imagine sitting in that for 4 hours.
Right. Laura, would you like to stay with us through the break?
Sure.
Okay. Captain John Ragan's with us. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's downfall.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Captain John Ragan's with us, Freeze Dry Guys, in the studio with me in Missouri, and on the phone in California is Laura, and Laura has been to our meetups. She's been to the Get Prepared Expo. She's been on the air with us, and she called me in an alarmed state on Saturday when she saw these lights in the sky. Laura, what was going through your mind?
I didn't know what it was. Now, looking back, I've seen a rocket test before, being from Southern California, but this did not look like that. And it had, like I said, some blue glow that was just so intense that I wasn't sure, had we been attacked? Was this the beginning of a war? I mean, it was the same kind of feeling that you have, of panic. I hate to use the similarity, but because it was so different, but it's the same kind of gut, something's wrong in your gut feeling that we saw on the morning of September 11th, like the unknown, but not with the drama of the buildings, but something is wrong in our country and it's here. That feeling, and, the blue glow, I've never seen that before. And, I've had, I heard last night somebody say that it was a blue glow from the type of fuel. I'd be really interested to know why that electric blue color. Somebody said that it was from space because the rocket entered our space. I don't know what it was. So if you find out later this week talking to somebody, or if John knows, it was definitely something I've never seen before in a rocket launch. And that's my big question. Yeah.
So the thoughts that were going through your mind were we attacked? Is this a chemical or a biological weapon?
Yeah, is this it? What is falling on my family right now? That's what was going on in my head. What is falling on us right now? There was no sound. As a matter of fact, the sky was so eerily quiet for Southern California, right after sunset. I think people were standing around with their mouths open. It was so eerily quiet. And then I was thinking that blue is falling on us. What is it? You couldn't see it actually falling on you, but you know what I mean. Fall out.
Sure. And this was around 7 p.m. Central Time? Yes,
when we were talking on the phone, it happened around 6:30,
Okay. So, class, if you can share anything with us that may not have been public information or something that you think we all need to know about, give us a call. And we'll pay for the call, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. And Laura, I tried to be calm about this, and because I didn't know what it was, but while you were on the phone with me, I ran up to, I put you on hold, and I ran up to the studio, and I was looking through the internet to try to find out what was going on. And yes, that was reported, and the report said hundreds had seen this. However, when I tried to look at the image, I could hardly get there because there must have been so much traffic trying to see the same thing that I was seeing, or trying to see the image of this, this blue, eerie colored light in the sky.
Okay, so you know what's really interesting? I was going on Twitter and all these places where people were, uploading their video, and I was trying to figure out what the blue was. And there was somebody had taken an image where you could see that it looked like a rocket traveling, and then it exploded with, instead of it, it must have been like a secondary, I'm guessing, I don't know the technology, like a secondary rocket, but instead of it being what we think of as fire or thruster, it was an explosion of this blue. So it may be the type of fuel, but like I said, it turned, it went from just looking like a rocket to this blue, like fallout from around it. So I did see a video of that, and I went back several times to try to find more images like that, and they were disappearing as fast as I did, trying to videotape it, because the actual individual's Twitter account with that video on it were disappearing as fast as one that showed the fallout were disappearing off the internet. So
there you go. Well, Laura, do I have your permission to post the images that you sent me on the website?
Sure. And thanks, guys. I got a bunch of kids I got to take care of, so have a great day.
Laura, thank you so much for calling in. We'll be right back.
It's time to kick some ash, because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig, because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit wavehomesolutions.com. That's wavehomesolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
Captain John Ragan's with us, Freeze Dry Guys in the studio with me. John Ragan, that was a very interesting report from Laura in California. And last night it was front page news. Now, it's not. It's not. However, here we go. It's on Drudge. Why is Pentagon simulating an attack on Los Angeles? So it is front page news. John, back to you.
You know, we've been under threat of attack since the 60s. And back then, we at least had some civil defense shelters. And of course, we've talked about how in 1964, the government had enough food on hand to feed 100% of the population 2 meals a day for 3 years. And today, they've got enough food on hand to feed 1% of the population 2 meals for 1 day. So if you expect the government to take care of you, you're going to be in for a big surprise. And it's very, very important that you have food on hand. If you're not already raising most or all of your own food, you need to have probably at least 3 years, and probably even be better to have 7 years of food on hand. And that's, you know, not a promo just because Freeze Dry Guy is here. It's just a statement of the world we live in today. And, you know, when I was sitting in the basement of the Pentagon, the threat that we were thinking about is the Russian sub that's sailing off the coast of D.C. there. if they had decided to launch, we're talking about 15 minutes from launch until the Pentagon's no longer there. For the missiles coming from Russia that go over the North Pole, those take about a half hour. But in those 15 minutes, first off, NORAD would be doing a confirmation before notifying the president. The president's notified and decides what the retaliation plan is, and then the command center there then would issue those orders to the strategic forces. And, being there in the basement, probably we would not even know that the missiles were on their way before they got there. And even if we did know, there's nothing we could do because there's no shelter there. And what are you going to do? It's going to take you 5 or 10 minutes just getting out to your car if you actually have a car. Most people drive in a carpool or ride the bus or the metro. So it's going to the biggest thing is just hope it didn't happen. Unfortunately, we're getting to that area where we don't know what's going to happen, and there's so many options out there. If it actually,
go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
It's interesting that you're bringing this up, and the reason I say that is, Freeze Dry Guy flew in to spend a few days with us here at the farm, and he's going to be at the meetup tonight, and I've asked him if he could provide some consultations for those of us who are interested in setting up a long-term food storage plan. Now, what does that include? That includes cans of food, that you can buy locally. That includes boxes of dried food that you can buy that, has relatively short-term lifespan. And then, of course, long-term storage food and putting that all together. And he's willing to do that. So if anyone wants to chat with him, he's here. And I'm going to give you his cell phone. It's out in the car. And you can call, and it's 530-559-2173. 530-559-2173. So if you want to talk to the Freeze Dry Guy, he'll be glad to chat with you and consult with you and help you set up that long-term storage food plan that John Ragan was talking about. Now, if you're wondering if I've done that, the answer is yes. Freeze Dry Guy?
Yes, absolutely. We work together a lot.
Yeah. And do you have any comments on what I just said?
No, it was perfect.
Okay. All right. John Ragan, back to you.
Well, the big thing that I see is the problem with the grid. And there is the possibility of the actual nuclear war. I hope that they're not crazy enough to do that. Putin, I know, understands the ramifications, because when you go for those actual nuclear attacks on the city, the nuclear winter doesn't just stay there locally. That's going to affect everybody. If they have some sense and are just wanting to get rid of the population, that's when you go to the EMP attack. And that's one of the places the grid can go down. We've got the sun can bring it down. We've got cyber attacks can bring it down. And we have directed attacks just on a few of the transformers. So unfortunately, there's no shortage of that. And when you see these articles that saying the grid's going to be down for a few months, and there's 90% death rate for the first year, that's too low a death rate and too long a period. Because you can't just raise food from scratch, especially with no experience. But even if you did have experience, you can't plant a seed or raise an animal within the time frame of you needing it for food. It's just an impossibility. You have to have that already started. So you have to have
John,
yes.
I'm looking at the Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center map right this minute. Okay, right now, Radcon 5, the highest level that is listed, is in Rockford, Illinois, just a little north and west of Chicago. Now, Radcon 4, the next highest level, which is of concern. Radcon 4, Indiana. It's in Indiana. Radcon 4 right now. And if you look further at the map, Arizona, Radcon 4. So Radcon 4, Arizona, Radcon 4, Indiana, and Radcon 5 in Illinois. Now, the other states aren't left out. Radcon 3 and rising, that would be Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Kansas, Arizona, California, Oregon, Washington, Utah, and Idaho. So most of us are not left out. And then if you want to look at a little lower level, like Radcon 2, there's a whole bunch of them too. So, class, why don't you consider getting everything that you need ready should there be a supply chain disruption? Everything you need. Now, what does that mean? That means, do you have water? Do you have a water filtration system? Do you have stored water? Do you have the ability to get more water? Do you have food on hand? And how about the guy I was talking with over this weekend who said he was going to make some chili, and all he had to do was get a can opener that worked. That's all he had to do. So a can opener was a showstopper for that particular individual. Now, if you've got a screwdriver and you clean it off, maybe you can use a screwdriver to rip open a can, or a sharp knife. And of course, we want you to be careful when you do that and don't contaminate the food. But, you know, a can opener, a mechanical can opener can be a showstopper for many people. So I suggest you get your food supply in order. You get your water supply in order. You get your shelter in order. You have everything that you need. Everything you need. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on things. You can, you know, for starting a fire, you know how I do it? I'm going to tell you a secret. Matches. Matches. The same matches that I've stored for over 40 years in a jar. So that's how I start a fire, literally, right here on the farm. Matches. I don't have any special high technology. Matches work just great, as long as they're not damp. John Ragan, what's next?
Well, I just want to, wrap up there. Believe me, I want to be wrong on everything I talk about, but even if we bypass the war and we bypass the grid and the supply chain being down, when you stock up on food, the good news is you can always eat it.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like it, you can always help others have food to eat. But I believe even if we don't have that, food is going to be a great investment, because look at all the drought that's going on throughout the world. The food supply right now is in a very precarious shape. And just buying food could be one of the better investments you can make, just from a dollar standpoint. But for life and death, it's food and water. You need your food, and you need to have your water filters. And, if you have those two, that's the biggest part of the battle.
John, let me share a short story with you. So I live in this little village of about 100 people. Actually, I don't even live in the village. I live outside the people where there are fewer people. And at the time, there was this, we'll call it a general store. And I wanted our village to be prepared. And I said, why don't we get some food and we'll store it at the school. And if there's a catastrophe, we'll have it on hand, ready to go. And the village said, tell you what we'll do. We'll have a $200 fund that we will, if someone has a problem, we'll let them go to that general store and buy, whatever they need for $200. If you want to talk about frustration, I was really frustrated. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and Off the Grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Captain John Ragan's with us. Studio D, Dallas, Texas. Freeze Dry Guys in Studio A right here in Missouri. I'm Vin Finelli. Freeze, what were your thoughts about what I said about food and the can openers?
Well, you know, when you guys were talking earlier, this thing turned on in my head, reminded me of a presentation I had to give to an Indian tribe, a large one, down low in near the border in Arizona. Anyway, we were driving down, my number 2 guy and myself, through the night to get there, and I realized we didn't have our can opener with us. In fact, we always carry at least 2 for every show we do. And so we swung into a large store, very large one that was open 24/7.
Chinese factory outlet?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, so I looked around through the can openers and I was disgusted. I saw a bunch of junk up there. I thought, okay, I said, this looks like the best can opener. $10, $12, whatever it was. Took it and should have bought 3 of them, but I bought 1 and went on. Now, this is a guy in the industry, right, who's supposed to be prepared at all times, a can opener. We get down there the next day. We give a nice presentation to a large group of people. And it came time for samples, and I got out the old can opener, the new one, and started to open the can. And after a short time, about 3 turns on the handle, it broke. And I thought, oh no! And I didn't have a backup. And I always believe in redundant systems. With that, one of the tribal members said, "I have a can opener in my truck." He went out and got it, brand new one. These little cheap-looking things like we all grew up with. You know, the one I'm talking about has a little nylon bushing in it.
Sure.
And I turned about 3 cranks on that, and that guy broke. And I thought, okay, got a problem. And this is very sobering. Not only, finally we got it open with a knife. I didn't cut myself. But for the lack of a can opener, you know, a life can, well, that's a little dramatic. A life could be lost, or at least it could get miserable. So, yeah, I think what John was saying earlier about him and what you were saying is very true. I have oftentimes advised my customers about every 10th or even more cases of food they buy from us. Open one up, drop a can opener, this very good brand we were talking about. I don't know if I can say it on the
Sure, absolutely say it.
Okay, swing away. Uh-huh. Sun rises and sets on that can opener. I've had some for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Never broke one. Mm-hmm. They sometimes, after a very long period of time, start getting kind of weak, but I've never had one fail. Mm-hmm. That's the greatest can opener there is. Seal it back up and right on the front of the box, can opener.
Right. My grandmother had a swing away in her kitchen, and it was mounted on the wall, and you literally lift it up and you can swing the can opener away, or you can lift it up and engage it in a position where you can open large cans. And she had that for decades, literally decades. So that's where I first learned about it. And I mentioned to you that in the bedroom there's a bag with can openers for each one of our children, and they are that exact brand. And so, class, if you want to come to the meetup tonight, Freeze will be there, and he'll be talking about, he's going to do a presentation on some stories that he can share with us, and also if you'd like to consult with him about building your own long-term food storage plan, he is available. And if you'd like to call him, I'll give you a number that you can call him, 530-559-2173. 530-559-2173. That's direct. You will get him. He will answer the phone directly. John Ragan, back to you.
I've had a link on top of my resources page about meeting in person in Dallas in March. Here, the Watchman Conference. And I believe I've already said Dr. Ted Brower is going to be there. Well, they've also added on John B. Wells. And if I remember, Dr. Richard Allen Miller was the last one on the air with him before he got canned from coast to coast. So
that's exactly right.
I'm looking forward to meeting him there, and it should be some interesting times.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Matt Stein, USA Prepares instructor, was on. John B. Wells, then Richard Allen Miller, then boom, John B. Wells is no longer on the air. I wonder if that had anything to do with two of our instructors. I don't know. Captain John Ragan's with us, Freeze Dry Guys here. I'm Vincent Finelli. We're going to continue this broadcast for hour number 2, right after these few short commercial announcements and top of the hour news. John Ragan's website, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Please click on the news tab and follow along with us. Next up is the tale of two droughts, California and Texas, then financial information. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Just recently, we've witnessed some of the most catastrophic disasters in history. Be sure to prepare yourself with great-tasting, high-quality, GMO-free food that has a 25-year shelf life. Of course, we're talking about the foods from SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. And don't forget, the human body needs up to 3 quarts of water every day to remain healthy and hydrated. So check out our water bricks at SurvivalFoodAlliance.com. Go to SurvivalFoodAlliance.com or call 877-223-1776.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Captain John Ragan's with us. Freeze is with us in the studio. Freeze Dry Guy. And I want to make an announcement. Tonight we have a meetup. Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. And, well, we hang out in the parking lot after that, too. But Springfield, Missouri, 4:45 to 8 p.m. at Jimmy's Egg. And we're going to be talking about, well, several things. We're going to be learning about the Keshi technology, free energy. And if you're interested, we're going to be showing a video, and we want to build a prototype. So we're going to talk about trying to accomplish that. Lincoln Justice is going to be on stage. Lincoln Justice will be with us. Freeze is going to be giving a seminar on long-term storage food techniques, and he's going to tell some stories. I'll be giving my take on the news, and that's tonight. I will be there tonight at Jimmy's Egg. And Captain John Ragan's with us. Captain John Ragan, are we going to start with the drought?
You know, I'm going to try and give small wrap-ups here, and if we have time
Okay.
at the end of the show, then whatever you'd like to get into deeper, there's just so much big news that came out last week, plus some other important items. We've got the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We had the employment report. Just so many. In the drought items, we actually did have a change in California. On the top end, the drought 3, drought 4 conditions reduced about 1%, but it really didn't change the overall picture. Everything drought 2 and above stayed the same. In Texas, on the other hand, those rains we had finally showed up on the map, and we're down to just a small fraction of the state that's an actual drought, just a little over 4.25%. And we've got just a little over 20% that's at least abnormally dry. Big change from just a couple of weeks ago. And if you remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, I talked about the dollar index. And based on what the chart was telling me, I said there looked to be there was going to be a breakout soon. Well, I didn't get to talk about it the week after that, but the first breakout actually occurred. The dollar index had been about at 95, I believe. It jumped up to 97, which was well above the trend line. And then when this latest job report came out, it's now up at 99. So if you look at the chart, you actually do see a significant breakout from where it was trading at. We've got November 2nd. What a day. When the Treasury opened, they had the figure that they've been using for 6 months, starting with $18.1 trillion in debt. And then by the close of the day, that was over $300 billion more. And that's what they would have accumulated over those 6 months if they hadn't been playing all these games, because they didn't have the debt ceiling adjusted by Congress. And technically they still don't. All they've done is suspend the debt ceiling through March of 2017. So right now Obama has a blank check, and the next president, whoever he or she is, has a blank check for 2 months before they got to figure out something. I've got a couple of articles on housing. In Australia, things are so bad you can rent a tent for just $90 a week. Or if you just want to buy a starter 180 square foot home in San Francisco, it's just under $2 million. So, wow.
John Ragan?
Yes.
John, renting a tent, but that includes Wi-Fi, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, literally, renting this tent includes Wi-Fi. We are falling fast. So for those who don't think that we're going down, these are the signs. Now, $2 million for this little tiny shack, right, in San Francisco. I lived in outside of San Francisco for a short time, and it was in a shack, literally in a shack, and it costs more to live in an 1,100 square foot shack in Los Gatos, California. And it was made out of homosote, which homosote is 3/4 inch board made out of egg carton material. Okay. Literally. That's what this shack was made out of. It had a tile floor, but I don't care how you look at it, it was still a shack. And it cost 50% more to rent that shack in Los Gatos, California in 1980 than it did to rent a 4-bedroom brick colonial on the East Coast. Seriously. So things are really, really out of whack, and the rich are getting richer, and the middle class is being eviscerated. And here's proof. Please continue.
I received an email from a truck driver saying that they'd listened and heard how, trade is down and all of that, but that their company had plenty of business and, they had no shortage of work to do. And I'm going to try and point out how both of those can be true. I've got an article, Trade and Trucking, BDI, Baltic Dry Index, has lowest November. And at the bottom of the employment section, I've got a link called Keep on Trucking. And what we're seeing is containerized freight is going down. Empty containers being shipped is going up. We've got freight carried on railroads going down. And we're also seeing the load-to-truck ratio at the lowest level it's been in about 2 or 3 years. The Baltic Dry Index has crashed to its lowest ever November level in history, and it's starting to get close to the lowest ever that we had a few months ago. And at the same time, we're seeing an issue with trucking where the older truckers are retiring and there's not enough young truckers to take their place. So there's a shortage of truckers, which means that you have less trucks, which means you'd have fuller loads. And that is also going to help push the drive to the automated trucks. And I think we're going to see those hit sooner than most people expect. And if that's not enough for you, at the bottom of the financial section, factory orders drop year over year for the 11th month in a row. And if you look at that chart, the only time that has happened in the past is during recession. And if they were using real GDP numbers instead of the modified one, the double seasonal adjustments they started, I believe the United States would already show that it's in recession, and this is the one that we don't get up from. And then there was that outrageous jobs report. And what amazed me is we had initial jobless claims actually went up. And then with this job report, 271,000 new jobs, way above what anybody expected, drove the so-called unemployment rate down to 5%. And, just on the logic of that, it's ridiculous. But that's all you're going to hear from, the talking points media. 271,000 jobs, unemployment rate 5%. What you're not going to hear is the number of part-time jobs continues to climb. The number of full-time jobs is just horizontal. We've got the labor participation rate down at that same 37-year low. The jobs were not in the high-end, high-paying jobs, and a number of those were, temp, part-time. One of the biggest surprises was the age groups. The old fogies group actually gained quite a bit. 378,000 were in the 55 to 69 age group. And if you were in that 25 to 54 age group, which is supposed to be their prime earning years, that group lost 35,000 jobs.
John, while you're saying this, it reminds me of a post I was reading over the weekend about the shortage of plumbers in Britain, a shortage of plumbers. Now, why is that? Because people don't know how to do plumbing. Okay? There's literally a shortage of plumbers in Britain, and they're thinking, there's a company who owns the largest plumbing company in Britain, and they're thinking if they can't find plumbers, they're going to have to go outside the country to find plumbers. because people don't know the craft or the trade. Can you imagine that? And that's going to happen here too. Absolutely, because who wants to be a plumber? You know, why would you want to be a plumber if you can learn Microsoft Office instead, right? Can you imagine?
And we've talked about how we're already seeing where they're outsourcing our military. And of course, they won't keep that up. They'll just switch it over to these AI robots. And won't that be
Michael
fun?
in New York, welcome. Oh, I should have looked at the clock. Michael in New York is with us, and he just joined us by telephone. Michael, just stand by, and we'll get with you right after these few short commercial announcements. I'm Vincent Finelli, Freeze Dry Guys in the studio. And Freeze, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you've got to offer during the next segment. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves. But this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at $downfall.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to $downfall.com. Again, that's $downfall.com.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle, now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-USE-SILVER for your free catalog, or go to OneSilverSolution.com. OneSilverSolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
John Ragan's with us in Dallas. Freeze Dry Guys here in the studio. Michael's on the phone. Freeze, I just had a question for you. You know, you've been coming to the farm for, this has got to be your fifth or sixth time. You've been to the expos, the meetups. When are you going to tell me your name?
You know, I've been thinking about this a lot, Vince, and you're one of my closest friends. You really are. Not long after I met you, I described you to other people as almost like a brother, and that's no baloney. So I think I should probably jump out of the closet. This is very traumatic for me, you know, because you know how private I am.
Mm-hmm, I do.
But my name is Wisnowski, and of course now you got my first name. You got it all right.
I got it. Michael in New York, welcome.
Well, thank you, Vincent. Good morning, gentlemen. Just a couple quick comments. You know, with the employment rate quote from the supposed government of ours, they always leave out a detail. It's true, employment is up in the sector, but it's the illegal sector. Government's hiring more and more of them. Contractors are too, so they're doing quite well, guys. It's the regular Americans that are broken out of luck, but they never mention that particular detail. And regarding the debt ceiling, here it is again, guys. It's amazing how they call digging a hole so deep you never can crawl out of it a ceiling that you can keep raising higher and higher. It's amazing they get away with such rhetoric, when obviously all they did was say, okay, Americans, we're going to dig that debt hole deeper now than it is. You're never crawling out of it, so see ya.
You know, Michael, I was driving into the farm with Mrs. Finelli. We're coming down the driveway, and I slowed the truck down, and I looked at her, and I said, I got it. All we have to do is borrow more money. That'll solve everything.
Yeah, that's right. Just imagine, huh? If it was, that's all it took.
Yeah. Right.
But it's amazing. It's amazing, you see, guys, because they keep calling it a debt ceiling, and when it's being reported, we got to call it what it truly is, a deep hole that we can never crawl out of, and that's their intention, to bury us in it.
John Ragan?
It's a black hole of debt, and we're beyond the event horizon.
John, who are we in debt to, John?
Well, what they've done for the most part is they've taken that debt and it's been purchased by pension funds. So the idea that you can just eliminate the debt and screw the bankers, no, you really don't do anything to the bankers, just screw the people that have pensions.
Right. So ultimately, it always goes back to this elite cartel that like to call themselves bankers. And they're just robber barons, and this is exactly how they're operating. They got us in debt as a country, all the countries of the world, through their IMF and the Federal Reserve here. They have all the countries deep in debt to them. Even Red China's deep in debt to them. And so it's clearly a ploy to cause a global depression, sir, so that they can get the whole world in a state of desperation and chaos where they can come in with their solution of this one world government crap. That's clearly what they're up to. And the traitors and domestic enemies in our government totally cooperating with them all the way to see that we're ruined as a country, as a constitutional republic, sovereign nation.
Michael, many years ago, back in the 1980s, I had a job working at a bank, and I was in the president's office, and one of the VPs walked in to the president, and he said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell that portfolio. Now, this was a credit card bank, and we were issuing credit cards. And he said, what we'll do is we'll sell that portfolio. Now, I went to school, and I am certified by the university as having been trained in finance and economics. And I never heard of selling debt before. Literally. I had never heard of selling a portfolio of debt to someone else. And that's what we were doing. We were going to sell $1 million worth of debt to another bank who was going to cut it up and sell it some more. Literally.
Right.
John Ragan, you have the same degree I do. You have a master's in business. Did you ever get trained in that selling of debt? Did you ever learn about that? Because I did not.
And I didn't learn about that, and I didn't learn about negative interest rates either.
There you go. Hey, Michael, thanks so much for calling.
God bless, guys.
God bless. And that was Michael in New York. John Ragan's with us. Freeze Dry Guys here. We'll be right back.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRAs, savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.
This is Sharon Hunt. Before using Heart and Body Extract, my energy level was very, very low. I could only walk a few feet and then would have to sit down. I was tired and lethargic. But after taking Heart and Body Extract, my energy level has improved greatly, and I can now walk longer distances without getting tired so fast. Thank you, Heart and Body Extract.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit WaveHomeSolutions.com. That's WaveHomeSolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Captain John Ragan is with us. Freeze is in the studio. John, it's all my fault. We didn't get through anywhere near what you've got on this schedule for today's broadcast classroom. If you're available tomorrow, we'd love to have you on the air with us, and we can continue tomorrow if that works out with your schedule. And
I can do that.
And you can. Well, let me ask you this: what's it feel like? I mean, normally, like maybe a minute before the broadcast, I'd call you up and say, "Hey." So how's it going, John? You want to go on the air with me? Like right now? So that's great. So this is a lot of notice, isn't it?
Yeah, I was really concerned Thursday night because my phone rang and it was Mrs. Finelli. And usually when that happens, it's really, really bad, and you have her call to try and get me to say yes.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have the nerve, right?
But it wasn't that. It was because I'd placed an order and there was a question, and yeah.
John, Freeze and I were laughing here in the studio, and I'd like to share this with everybody. We're talking about, my son saying, "Dad, you got the most unusual friends." And yeah, that's absolutely true. And then Mike Ma's name came up, and Freeze and I were talking off the air during the commercial break about that. And Freeze was reminiscing about a story with Mike Ma and how he interrupted the whole expo with some of his stunts. And I said, "Well, you haven't seen his latest stunt. He has this glass eye." And he holds it in his hand, and he's at a dinner table with a whole bunch of people at dinner. It's okay. Your mic's on. That's all right. And so Mike would hold this glass eye in his hand, and he would start coughing, and then he would drop the glass eye on the table, and then he'd cover his eye with his left hand, and he'd try to find it with his right hand, and he'd knock it down, and he'd crawl under the table looking for his glass eye. Now, Freeze, you can imagine him doing this, right?
Oh, for sure. With both eyes.
How about you, John? I mean, you've seen him with some of his stunts where people grab their phones and want to call 911 because they think he's going to die right there on the spot, or infect us with whatever he has. Wayne in Texas, you're on with Captain John Ragan, Freeze, and me. Welcome.
Yeah, hi. Good show this morning. The thing I wanted to talk about real quick was the discussion about the jobs report that came out on Friday.
Yes.
And from everything I gather, the figure was allegedly 271,000 new jobs created. And then I did a little research and found out that in the same time frame of October, we had 1.3 million people file for unemployment for the first time. So you got the media and a lot of the government types touting the new jobs report, but no one mentioned that 1.3 million people again were out of work during the same time frame. In September, it was 137,000 jobs created versus 1.06 million people filing for the first time. So it just seems like the numbers are really skewed, but it seems like no one wants to question it. No one challenges these figures at all. And if you to extrapolate this further, the unemployment rate of 5%, we all know that's a joke. It's probably closer to 9 or 10. If you factor in John Williams and his Seattle Stats figures, it's probably 20% plus, which is depression area unemployment. So it seems like an ongoing thing. It's very frustrating when you talk to people because everybody seems to be clueless as to the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I'm almost expecting Burger King to acquire the Bureau of Labor Statistics because the Whoppers just keep on getting bigger.
Copyright. Yeah.
Wayne,
it goes on and on, though. I mean, even this stupid figure of 11 million illegal aliens, in the country. Well, that figure's been at that, that rate for like the last 3 or 4 years that I know of. Now, it might be true if you count just Texas and California, there's 11 million, but there's probably 30 to 40 million at that. But I just go back to the point where we all take this information, digest it, and no one challenges it. No one spits it back out.
There's a reason why they're doing these employment reports the way they are. Is because the Fed wants to raise interest rates. And this is their justification for raising it. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. But because the economy is going the wrong direction, raising the rates is going to make things go down the tubes quicker.
Freeze, you had a comment?
Yes, if I may. Your other caller said, 11 million is what the word has been. 96, 97, I was involved in one of the borders on counter-drug missions, and they were telling us then 12 to 20 million, and they kept yapping around about that. That stayed in effect for many, many years, so it's nice to know it's gone down by 1 million. But in reality, I talked to an interesting lady who had a very interesting job, and I said, what's your best guess? She says 40 to 60 million, and that was probably 3-4 years ago.
There you go.
And she was
that's absolutely the case, though. And I go back to my joke on, it's 11 million. You just count Texas and California and maybe New York or something. But again, it just seems like I want to throw this out there because anytime, again, you get these knucklehead politicians touting the jobs report, I sure want people to step up and say, well, wait a minute. In the same time frame, we lost 5 times that many jobs, when you factor in the first-time unemployment filers. So that was my point this morning.
Wayne, let me share something with you. Freeze and I, Freeze pulled into the farm last night, and as he pulled in, I said, great, you're just in time. We're going to pick up some protein for the cows. And what these are these tubs that weigh 200 pounds. They're like flower pots, but they're plastic. And they have minerals and supplements and protein and molasses in these 200-pound tubs. Literally, they weigh 200 pounds. So we went to a place called Orscheln, and Orscheln is like a farm and ranch. And our son happened to be following me in his truck. He was going back to school, and he wanted to make sure that Dad and Freeze were okay. And so he pays a lot of attention to cows, and he wants to make sure that they get the best possible supplements they can get. So he wanted to see what we're going to go buy. Well, we went into the Orscheln store, and there were a bunch of young people who had smocks on or aprons, and obviously they were the employees. They were these young part-time workers, and they were just yucking it up, and no one wanted to work. There were like 4 or 5 of them. And so I asked who was the expert in the lick tubs, and they pointed to this manager, and I went over to the manager, and he was working with one of his associates, and I asked him for some help, and he called the kids over. That's what he referred to them as, kids, because they weigh 200 pounds. And anyway, so we get these, I back my truck up right to where they are. So the tubs are maybe 10 feet at the most. I can't back up anymore because the curb is in the way of the sidewalk. Well, these 2 guys pick up this lick tub and slide it, and it slams into my toolbox, which is an aluminum diamond textured toolbox. Boom. I look at it, and I look at them, and they don't seem to be concerned at all. And then they do the next one. Boom. And so I said, I just stopped, and Janet Reno taught me this. She said, if you see something, say something. So I looked at these. The manager was there, and several of these young people were there trying to avoid work, and they're totally not concerned that they slammed this thing into my toolbox. And this is one of those aluminum toolboxes that you see in the back bed of a pickup truck. Well, I thought it was careless. I thought it was unnecessary. I thought it was reckless. And I was frosted. So I looked at this young guy who did it, and I said, do you own anything? And he looked at me, and I said, do you own anything? O-W-N? And he said, well, sure. And I said, well, do you take care of your stuff? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, take care of my truck. I was frosted. And at this point, I was debating whether to say, tell you what, get those things out of my truck. I don't want them anyway. But I needed them. And if I didn't need them, they would have unloaded them and I would have driven off. That's how angry I was. That is what's going on with this country. So we have people who could have jobs, but are careless. Now, how much damage did we do to Orscheln? I hope a lot. I hope a lot, because I don't want to go there anymore. And maybe if I have time either today or tomorrow, I will call and ask for the CEO of Orscheln. And probably I'll hear something like, well, he's busy. And I'll say, well, I understand. Obviously he's busy. I mean, probably too busy to talk to a customer, right? I mean, that's what CEOs are. They're too busy, right? And that's why they have these young people who don't care, who are driving their customers away. So we have all kinds of problems in this country. And just like the plumbers in Europe, in the United Kingdom, they don't know anything because of our leadership. We haven't taught them anything. Our school system has failed us. And that's why we have these young people at Orscheln who are driving their customers away because of carelessness. John Ragan?
And let me get back to the foreign worker part. I've got a link there that what happened for this month, the number of unemployed foreign workers declined by 57,000. At the same time, the number of unemployed native-born Americans increased by 27,000. And this has actually been a long-term trend. Most of the jobs created, and this goes back to when Bush took office, so this whole century, have gone to foreign-born workers. Mm-hmm. It's like in the 90% range.
Yeah, and if had there been a foreign looking worker there, I would have probably gravitated to him or her, expecting that they would be a little more careful with my property. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, and again, I was small business too, and we see the same thing with various people we deal with. And again, in some cases too, you even have young people who really are enthusiastic and act like they want to do a good job for you, but they're undereducated or undertrained, and it looks like the upper management is just putting bodies on the phones or like I say, on the dock. And again, they're not training them, they're not giving them the customer service knowledge that they need to keep people coming back for more. So, I see exactly what you are talking about, Vince. And hey, one other quick thing.
Hold that thought. Wayne, please give your phone number to our engineer during this break, and I'd love to call you after the broadcast. May I do that? Okay. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Why would you go anywhere else? KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free water purification kit for a limited time with any body armor package. Go to KDArmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Captain John Ragan is with us. Freeze is in the studio with me. Wayne in Texas is on the phone. And just a reminder, meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg. And we're going to have a presentation with Freeze, and he's going to help anyone who needs help with personal consultation, no charge, about how to build a long-term food storage plan. 530-559-2173 if you'd like to call him. 530-559-2173. And tonight also we've got a presentation about the Keshi technology, free energy. Okay, I'm really looking forward to working on that prototype to see if it actually works as claimed. Wayne in Texas, your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Hey, Vince, one other quick thing, and I'll get off because I know time is short. But you're talking about the number of foreign workers in the country. And something I came across that's pretty tough to read the other day was there's 190 locations around the country now that are being set up to process all these Middle Eastern refugees coming in that Obama and friends are bringing into the country. And I would think at the rate that they're getting set up, we're looking at maybe tens of thousands of people coming in here. And I've seen different estimates, but I wanted to bring that up because this is something that could be really, a big issue down the road here, and we need to be talking about it so that these politicians know we're on to them.
Well, we're on to them, and we're going to come visit their homes. We're going to come visit the politicians' homes. We're going to say, "Oh, it's great that we know where you live, and we're here just to tell you what we want you to do." And this is your job, and you've signed up to represent us, allegedly. And, we're having trouble believing that. But here's what we want you to do. And Wayne, the reason I asked for your phone number is I wanted to call you, and thank you for providing that. I wanted to call you and talk to you about you coming on the air with us. So that's what that's all about. And so you have my number. And by the way, if anyone wants to call us, our phone number is on the website, usapreparedness.com, on the contact tab. That's our number right here at the studio. John Ragan?
I'd like to also point out I've got a link, birth, death. And if you're trying to talk to somebody that's wide asleep, that might help out. It talks about how 145,000 of these 271, that's roughly, when you get the seasonal adjustment, you can't just do plain math on that. But a large number of these so-called jobs come from this model that in normal time is supposed to represent jobs that dropped off that they didn't capture, plus new jobs that are there from brand new businesses. And of course, we know that all these small businesses are just going like gangbusters out there, right?
Well, let's ask Wayne. Wayne,
I see a lot
your
of
business
for lease signs in my area, so I'm east of Dallas, so there's a whole lot of police signs, although there's a few new developments going in, so that may change. But, yeah, it seems like a lot of small businesses are definitely hurting.
And what we see up here and in my travels within a 300-mile radius or so is more and more billboards that say, rent me for lease, or they're just painted white with the telephone number of the company, in the bottom center. Yeah, and we see stores here in Springfield, Missouri, that if they're vacant for a while, well, the easy fix for that is just bulldoze them. And these are nice buildings. I'm not talking about falling down dilapidated buildings. I'm talking about like businesses that were Burger Kings and storefronts and freestanding buildings and restaurants that are made out of brick with lots of glass. I mean, it just bulldoze them down. And then they become grass. Well, kind of shabby grass, but it's not like they turn them into a park, that's for sure. But you don't see an empty building. And I guess the plan is, if you see an empty building, that's a sign of decay and decline. So let's just bulldoze that building down. It's really, it's a crime. It really is. Wayne, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Vince.
John Ragan, thank you for being with us, as always, every Monday. And John's going to be with us tomorrow. Freeze is going to be with us tomorrow. And we're going to continue where we left off today. Meet up tonight at Jimmy's Egg. Freeze will be there. I'll be there. And other instructors will be there. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit usaprepares.com. That's usaprepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. usaprepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply truly the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.